Canadiens played spoiler on Tuesday night. Pat, a bit of a surprising 4-3 win over the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, it's, considering it was 4-3 the other way around last week in Detroit. The Canadiens came out flying. They took advantage of the fact that Detroit played last night, grabbed a 2-0 lead. Even though Detroit outshot them by a pretty comfortable margin, I think it was 42-23 or 24, but and including 23 shots in the third period. But except for some power play goals in the second period, they had 3 of them. I thought the Canadiens outplayed them 5-on-5.
And the number one line with Galchenyuk, Pacioretty, and Byron looked good. 2 goals for Max Pacioretty, including the winner. 2 assists for Galchenyuk, and both of them +4.
Yeah, they moved guys out, in and out. Actually, you know, they used Andrighetto a little bit on that line as well, and you know, they managed to get some scoring. Galchenyuk only got 1 shot on goal. Again, that's about 4 or 5 games in a row he's only had 1 shot on goal, but he set up Pacioretty for beauty on the winning goal, and came up with a couple of assists.
And a real strong game by Andrei Markov at age 37. With the team out of the playoffs, he logged 29 minutes and 36 seconds of ice time, was +3, and was dominant out there.
Yeah, so much for you know, trying to limit his ice time. He looked really strong out there. Mike Condon looked great. I thought he should have deserved one of the three stars. He had 39 saves, 23 in that third period. And, you know, he pretty well kept them at bay.
And they were coming hard at him, the Red Wings, in that third period.
They were.
More empty seats tonight at the Bell Center, I think we've seen all season. But for the fans who were here, it was the best game we've seen here in a while. So pretty good.
It was a very entertaining game. The fans who were there got their money's worth, because it was a real good game, and lots of action and lots of good things happening on both sides.
Now the Canadiens and you are off to Florida now. They play the Lightning on Thursday and then the Panthers on Saturday, but they've cut the trip shorter than it was originally planned, I believe.
Yeah, they were originally going to spend a full day in the sun on Sunday and then fly back in the afternoon on Monday, and now they're going to fly back Sunday morning. I guess they figured that it was originally scheduled to be a reward, a bit of a rest before the playoffs, but there are no playoffs.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you don't make the playoffs, and the Canadiens made it a little bit more difficult for the Detroit Red Wings to do that with their victory tonight.
Well, they did, and you know, Detroit's hope now is they're tied for the last wild card spot with Philadelphia, but the Flyers have 2 games in hand. Detroit's best chance now will be to pass Boston for 3rd place in the Atlantic Division. Boston had a chance to pick up some ground tonight, but they lost. And so Boston's now only 1 point ahead of Detroit. Those 2 teams are going to play sometime in the next week.
Well, no playoffs in Montreal, but there's still some interesting races to watch elsewhere.